Good morning, I'm Firas and today I'm going to present for you Unit 6, and in our first part of it, or the first video on it, I'm gonna go further in detailing the villa that we designed in the previous series of Unit 5, and specifically here I'm gonna talk about how you make a title block, or what's so-called here in Revit sheeting. So title blocks, or the sheets here, actually it's the external frame that we can use to add the company or the university or any incorporation or institute that you work for, and you want to present the detailed drawing within that sheets. It's very similar to the concept of AutoCAD layout, a little bit more advantages on it, or as compared to it. Anyway, so let's start. That's the Revit project file that we've done so far, and in order to create your own sheets, it's here basically down. If you scroll on the project browser, you can go right click and go on new sheets, and here you can go load the default one metric file or add none, and I'm gonna just skip, or you can actually load whatever pre-type or pre-system of sheets you have previously done. So, for example, one of the sheets that I prepare for my students in the final exam is this sheet, which have the Ajman University logo and the frame, very basic frame. Let's try to do something similar to that one, and basically we can go to file here, and you need to create a new type of families here, which is a title block, which is different from the project environment and the family and the conceptual math that we actually exercise earlier in this course. So you go here to title block, and just be cautious from what type of title blocks you loading. So this is imperial system, so hit the up button a couple of times and reach actually to the English by itself, which is basically the metric, and then title blocks, and then pick up whatever size you want to deal with. I will go to A2 metric, for example. Now that's my page, or that's the A2 page. I can go and create lines here, and I'm designing the layout or the sheets here, whatever you want to call it. It's actually here called title block or sheets, and it's again very similar to the concept of designing a layout. I will go here with the pick lines and then offset 10, and it's 10 millimeters, so you just offset the whole thing out of the frame or the sides of this page. And in a trim, I'm gonna trim the edges of it, get rid of these extra lines, and then probably go back to create, and then just again pick lines and have 100 mil offset for the frame here for the side. So that's it basically. We create the external layouts or external border of the sheets, and then you go again and create and lines again, and again this guy picking lines, and let's go like a 15 mil this time, and easily you can just select that line and drag that end of this line, and you get yourself your first column or row actually here to add the name or the numbers for it. You can keep this like repeating that to create a couple of rows using the same method by picking a line and offset. As such, and you can just jump here and add another 100, and like make that rectangle here to put the logo of the company you want to add. So first, let's just go to insert, and then like the first thing to think is to insert this as a logo or an image. So I'm going here to image, and I'll use this logo for Ajman University. I'll just place it here, and I just push that side, and then make this also this size smaller, and that's what I have now. And you need to place the logo in the specific, usually in the top right area of the sheets, or whatever. It depends on what type of where actually the logo has been placed. Some logos placed down, some of them placed up. Anyway, Now that's been said, that's how you draw the lines, which is basically lines, and that's how you draw or insert the logo of the company or the university or institution that you work for. Here in the lower right, I'll just add a text or label. So those two things you need to really understand and fully understand how you practice those. So text is something you're going to add and it's fixed and it isn't change at all when you like copy that sheet 5 or 6 times and add different information to it. So for example, I'll just zoom in here and add some text saying that this is the sheet numbers. Okay, and if you find that size of text big, and it is big by the way, you just select it and then like go here. Actually, you need to edit type and duplicate. Let me make it 6 millimeters, and then you change the size of the text into 6 and hit OK, and then the size will be 6. As you can see, you can spread that to the edge of that box or just keep it as it is. It's up to you. So that's the sheet number. Okay, in it in this area, actually, no matter how much you repeat that title block later on, this will be fixed. It's just a text, they're just letters, all right? They're not going to change based on the content of that page when it's been loaded into Revit environment. So let's do both and let's have a look. So I'll add a label here and I will insert that in here exactly, and I will add what this text like represents. So it's the sheet number. I'll have sheet number here, double click or just select it and then push that side and hit OK. So again, Revit is just suggesting that it will be A1. Okay, I'll change that to 6 mil. Okay, okay, now it's done. So the first proposed number for this sheet is 101, for example. So that's been done. Now let's try that so we can understand or better understand the difference between between the labels and the text and labels. Actually, again, you need to save as this guy, the frame, and I'm gonna call that title block. Let's say A2. Now I saved it, it's okay, and remember that I have the project here. That's the project environment, and that's my title block. So I just load it, and yes, you get your lovely warning messages. Then you cannot see it in this mode anyway. So indeed, you have to go to sheets, right click on it, and then in new sheets, and you find this sheet you just created has been prepared for you. Just need double click on it. Now that's your sheet. And as you can see, before I go ahead and add anything to it, I can just simply open this and I see my first sheet here. It's been added, it's 101 and unnamed. It's okay. I can right click again and have a new sheet, hit OK. Now see, now that's the text, if you remember, and it keep as it is in all times like this. It's the same sheet number, it will never change. Rather, the label, it's actually a parametric text, so it actually change according to the information available here or the change that you have actually done in this specific sheet. Now it's 101, now it's 102, and so on. So that's the beauty, that's the difference between the text, which is fixed, and the label, which is actually changing. Again, back to the title block. So let's go ahead and have another text created here, and let me call it I don't know, sheet name maybe. Okay, and I'm gonna push that up a little bit, and I'm gonna stretch that to the side, and I'm gonna change it to 6 mil. And now again, that's text, so we need a label. So again, sheet name, and hit OK, and I'm gonna change that to 6 mil, and again place that up as such, probably down. Okay, maybe making it 6, again all unified. Now again, you can save that and then just load it again. Just let me load it again, and of course I'm gonna take the second option to override it with its parameter. Back to the two sheets that we have in here. So this guy, again, sheet name, and here we have unnamed. So that's okay. We can go ahead and, you know, like double click on that, and let's say that this is level 1, and you see the name is changing here. And or maybe you wanna, I don't know, let's say it's the ground floor. Okay, and this guy, we can go ahead and change it from here or change it from here. It's up to you, and you call it level 1. So again, this text is fixed while the label is actually changing. So that's the basic difference between both. And probably by now you might notice that this is not really really welcomed. It should, like, maybe this is okay to be aligned to the left side, while this you want it to be in the middle. So back to the title block again, and when you select this guy, you have the options of it here. So just in the horizontal alignment, just pick center. Maybe this one the same. Nicer, you know, like, while the text should be aligned maybe to the left side. Now again, load it, and again the second parameter, and come back in here. You see now it's in a better condition, like this is in the middle, while this one and this one, they are labels, while this guy is, you know, this guy is just fixed to the aligned, or to be aligned to the left side of the document or the row they are in. So that's been said. Other information also can be provided as a label. So I'm gonna add a label here again without the text. So let's say here, let me add project number or project name. Okay, and the project name, I'm gonna just again place that in here and push that to the side. Use the center, immediately hit apply and then load. Now project name should be the same, and it should be a public information. It should be a major information shared by the entire sheets. It's common by the whole set of drawings. So all the sheets should represent the project name, the same project name, the same owner, for example. That might need to go to the manage here, and from manage we need to look for project information, which is a shared information for the entire set of drawing for the entire project. So you're gonna find here project name. You're gonna name this a house, you know, like test, or I don't know, just a house, and you go okay. And now it should goes for all, you know, the sheets in this project, because that's a shared information, like who is the client, who's the owner, who's the designer maybe, and what's the name and number of the project should be shared information. The last thing is actually the thing that you're really eager to do, is to apply the documents, like whatever you name it. You name it here ground floor. You need the ground floor to be here. So just open this, which is the ground floor sheets. I'm gonna close this ceiling. So that's my closing the elevation. That's my ground floor sheets. It's active, and then you come here to the project browser and drag the ground floor here and just drop it in here. Okay, so just drop that in here. If it's bigger, just click again and push with arrows in your keyboard, you know, until it's been placed properly as you want. Let's say like that, and probably you can just you know, drag that to the side and then select it, and then you can rescale this title here, push that up, and then push this down. I think the first one, when you select the drawing or the view, you are allowed to push that, you know, to make it longer. When you don't select it, or you are not selecting it, and then you select this, you know, you can move it to the place you want, you know, like by itself, like this. Which that's the only difference between, you know, the two methods. Anyhow, you can you know, click in here again and use those cropping view and seeing the cropped area in order to specify what actually you're going to see, if you don't want to, you know, see those elevation icons that shown like a couple of seconds in the oops, yeah, like that. So when you go here, you don't see the elevation indicators or symbols here, like that's the way you want it to be shown. Again, you might need to add scale for that, so it's gonna sense automatically the scale. So if I go again to the title block quickly and add just a label here, and I know it shouldn't be placed here, but let's say scale, whatever it is. Yep. Hit OK. You notice that I think the title shouldn't show that in inch, but anyway, let me load that. It should again indicating or giving us the scale automatically. So this is a 1 to 100 because the view is 1 to 100 actually. As you can see here, it's reflect back immediately to the name of that, and it's immediately to the sheet here. So if you go back again and change this guy to 200, you go back to the sheet, it's going to change itself. That's the beauty of using Revit. It's a building information modeling platform, so everything should be fixed itself immediately without you need to change that. Sometimes you go to the elevation, you change it, you forget to change that, or you change that and you don't change that in you change that in the plan, you don't change this, or you change this and you forget to change that. And that's the ugly thing. You have hundreds of sheets and you have to repeat the process of changing each one of them. You will forget some, and that will put you in deep problems. So that's the good thing to have this in Revit. So it's automatically being created for you. So again, finally you go to the second level or level 1 or whatever you call it, and you know, drag and drop. And it's also sense what is it, the name and the scale and all that information. Probably you need to turn on and off some layers and fix this before you print it, because it's not been printed. But I just wanted to express the idea of having more than one sheet basically and quickly for you. I wish that you find this tutorial useful. Thank you very much and have a good day.